I'm from the future. I came here in a time machine that you invented. Now I need your help to get back to the year 1985.
This is Back to the Futures on the Hammer.bet. Smash like, sub to the channel, sub to the audio podcast while you're here, and never forget to go to thehammer.bet for all of your sports betting needs. On today's show, we have Tim Andercust versus Geoff Fienberg building their future NFL portfolio as the season goes along. We're into Week 8. And Tim, I believe we're starting with you this week as you try to add another potential winner into the mix.
I've been giving you guys some real value the last couple of weeks. That Jets one to make the playoffs went from 850 down to plus 135. That Seattle one down from like 800 to plus 225 to make the playoffs. I've given you some value to hold in your arsenal. So we've got some real live bullets. This week we are going to take the Arizona Cardinals plus 800 to win the NFC West. That line is completely out of whack. They're a game behind the Seattle Seahawks. The San Francisco 49ers are the most talented team in the division, but they're suffering from a myriad of injuries, and nobody, can trust their quarterback. The Rams, too, have injuries. They are not as deep as they were. Stafford doesn't seem 100% right, and so that team has some flaws. And the Seahawks are lovely and a marvelous story. But there's every opportunity that they could turn into a pumpkin like Cinderella. So Arizona's just got back their best player, and they looked so much better with him. They add another receiver, Robbie Anderson. I think that helps. They shouldn't be plus 800. There shouldn't be a massive chasm between them and San Francisco to win this division. I feel like a real sharp here, but I'm taking Arizona plus 800 to win the NFC West.
Jeff, how do you feel about that?
I'm starting to get worried as Tim relays his portfolio. We'll just leave it at that. But I have to now compete with Tim, and I'm kind of maybe going on the same crazy path. I am taking the New Orleans Saints, who are currently 2-5 and a game out of the division. Atlanta doesn't feel right. Tampa doesn't feel right. The Saints have been decimated by injuries, just decimated. And I'm crazy enough to like Jameis Winston. There are 12-1s out there for this team to win the NFC South. I am going to put my money on it, which is kind of maybe silly because in many ways I'm piggybacking my Bucks to miss the playoffs bet from last week at essentially half that number. So I am kind of pushing my chips in big on this situation, which seems crazy for a defense that can't stop anybody, but they're going to get healthy.
There might be a problem with the Saints, Jeff.
They suck?
They're not any good. Now that
everyone in that division,
yeah, that might be
is just in some.
That might be your thing here. That it might do you think they have a better chance to win the division or have the first pick overall?
To win the division.
I don't know about that.
I would say if they weren't being coached by Dennis Allen, they would, but given that they are, I don't like them that much. I get the play, though. 1,100 also does seem too long. Only a game back in the division. But, so it's a reasonable play. I'm glad to see Jeff has taken off that head cover off the driver and has decided to stand forth and take a full pass with the big stick.
All right, well, we're going to add those to the portfolio. Saints to win the NFC South. Cardinals to win the NFC West. Add those to the portfolio. You can track it all up at thehammer.bet to see where Jeff and Tim stand for the season. Tune in next week as we add another 2 bets to those portfolios on Back to the Futures. I'm Pat Mayo.